Hi everyone, this is Rashid Juma from ITLec. Today we'll speak about RPA and UiPath introduction. Okay, so here our agenda. We'll have introduction and what, why, and how RPA, what, why, how UiPath and demo, and what is next if we have a time, or maybe next time we will demonstrate Power Automate from Microsoft. Okay, so here let's first, before speaking about RPA, we should refresh our memory about what is digital transformation. So, digital transformation is to integrate technology with business, to accelerate and improve the business and deliver value to customers. Okay, but even after the phase or era of digital transformation, there is still a lot of things, a lot of work to be done manually. For example, sending, receiving mails, faxes. We have also repetitive tasks. For example, check mail, send your request status, search for something, answer calls, or normal data entry from structured or unstructured sources. For the last 2 decades, organizations have looked to solutions like shared services and outsourcing to handle this work effectively. So, what is RPA? RPA is configurable software, uses business rules and sequences of actions to mimic and behave exactly the same way as a human, except for exception management. Okay, so for example, in the traditional workflow automation tools, we integrated with other software by invoking its API. But in RPA, it will mimic the user and use the GUI to perform the automation by repeating those tasks directly in the GUI. So let's say, for example, let's say imagine you have just hired someone new to your team and you rule to train him. So what you'll do? So first thing, you should go for onboarding program. After that, start with basics and simple tasks. You may start with shadow, then reverse shadow strategy, then go for difficult scenarios and tasks, and still keep shadow and reverse shadow strategy applied. Okay, but hopefully the newcomers or new employees remember how to do each process as you have taught them. Repeat this process with each employee. Okay, so if we assume that the employee is doing all of that, so what about the performance? What about the accuracy? What about integrity and working hours, weekends, salary raise, maternity, blah 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 blah? Okay, so any business process which can be presented by chart flow definitely can be done by RPA. So we have something called bot and digital worker. Bot is, we usually see it in websites. We in chat, for example, someone who replied to us. But what is a digital worker? Maybe it is a new or expression for you, but RPA are the main key word for bot and digital worker. Digital worker is the next generation of bots. So bot is task-oriented, automated task. Okay, so we can summarize it. It can do a task, but digital worker perform complete business function from start to finish, enhance job role, so it think, act, and analyze. Digital workforce. Digital workforce is new terminology. Digital workforce consists of robotic process automation, AI, and machine learning. Machine learning and AI, we usually call them cognitive solutions and analytics solution as well. So here the main keys for RPA. We have, for example, let's navigate different landscapes. We can jump from web to desktop to terminal and from system to another system. Quick to implement and scalable. can implement in small pieces. Deployment is not complicated as normal software. Easy to integrate with other systems. No need to know API specification, only GUI is enough. Made for enterprise. It made for enterprise to handle huge amount of repetitive tasks, and it's all RPA built for complexity. By integrating with AI, it can handle complex scenario, and the result will be fast and efficient. Some RPA use cases in finance and banking. RPA can do data validation, report creation, data migration between banking applications, and customer account management. In manufacture, we can data monitoring, product pricing comparison between your product and competitors and the source or the vendor for your products and so on. Technology and software, you can use it for test for functional load and mobile performance, application integration. In telecom, we can collect and upload data, extract competitor pricing data. In government, it can verify processes, integrate legacy systems with newer systems, automate daily reports. Healthcare, in healthcare, it can generate reports for doctor, trigger email from medical billing system, automate claim status and eligibility. A lot of things actually RPA can achieve. So here is a 1 million question. Can RPA replace real human employee? Okay, the simple answer is no, but let's see why no. Okay. However, RPA is just like a human. Okay, a robot can open emails and attachments, log into applications, read databases, collect data, fill forms, and perform calculations. Typically, robots operate 3 times faster than human workers. Robots are the best for repetitive tasks. But in the end of the day, RPA need human interaction in exception management and judgment. And as we all of us know, those type of questions has been raised and asked before several times. When Excel become available, all of us asked the same question: will Excel replace accountant? And nothing happened. After that, macros become available on top of Excel, and we asked the same question again, and nothing happened. And when the ERP becomes a trend, and all of the big organizations implemented ERP, so we again asked, will ERP replace the HR employees, accountants, those employees? But no, it will not, because in the end of the day, there must be a human interaction for exception management and judgment. So automation spectrum, or the types of automation, we have like stages. We have manual work, we have assisted or attended, okay, and we have another type called unassisted or unattended, and in the end we have AI. So here we will speak about assisted and unassisted, or attended and unattended. Choosing between assisted automation and unassisted automation will depend on a variety of factors, including the type of work, automation goals, the amount of structure. So when we should use RPA, we should use RPA based on 2 factors. One of them functional and another one is technical. So for functional, if we have, for example, high volume of requests or repetitive tasks prone to error, something maybe can be the human can done a mistake. Standardized and mature, the process is standardized and mature. Manual and rule-based process is important, and in the end of the day, the application is stable. The another criteria to to go for RPA is technical criteria. So if I have in one of the business process, I have a lot of mouse selection, a lot of mouse clicks, a lot of screen navigation. I have to enter a lot of data, copy and paste, web services, invocation, for example, DBA queries, log in and log out, and jumping from different applications. So if you face any of these conditions, regardless functional or technical, then here we go. We have to go for RPA. So uh, in this table, we'll see how to figure out if we need RPA or not, and to prioritize, to make a priority for our processes, to select which process to start with. So here we have some criteria, the tasks, and those the rank scale from 1 to 5. The higher is the better for RPA. So we have one criteria: is process repetitive? Is it true rules based? Structured input, structured output, total volume variability of hours processing, error prone, duplicated data, process stability, and system stability, and quick development. So let's, for example, if I have this process one, it contains a lot of repetitive tasks. So I can make here, for example, 5. But it is rule based? No, it is, depends on the mentality, for example, of the owner. Let's say it is family business, so it is owner usually doing whatever in this one. So it is 0. Structure, yes or no. Total volume, yes or no. Uh, if it's a total volume, a lot of volumes, so it is more elected. This process will be elected and to be automated using RPA. Here we have RPA vs traditional automation. So the differences is primary functions. So we have in RPA, we handle repetitive tasks. In traditional automation, we have a tools to serve a specific purpose. Time to develop. RPA much faster because we one of the options we have record automation steps for code to perform. But in traditional automation, requires software development skills, required IT support. Customization, easy customize, and it's easy to integrate between different systems. In traditional automation, it is fundamental challenges. There are some fundamental challenges. Uh, you know, uh, Maybe one of the customization affect someone else, or dependencies between code, whatever. Complexity, less dependencies on system architecture. But for traditional automation, we have to know the programming language. Knowledge of programming language is required. Scalability. So in scalability can be deployed on any machine which has multiple manual tasks. Traditional automation must be on physical machine with a special hardware specification. Actually, in this scalability, RPA can be deployed on client machine. Usually, traditional automation needs specific hardware with specific security rules. In cost, RPA long-term saving, but traditional automation more expensive in the long term. So here we have one of other subjects, RPA vs traditional testing. So traditional automation testing, it needs programming knowledge. It targets testers and developers, testing team and development team. It works in traditional automation testing, it works as virtual assistant. RPA is a workforce. The most famous framework for this called Selenium. Actually, we shouldn't say RPA as traditional automation testing, but we should say RPA and modern automation testing. Because, for example, UiPath and multiple other tools offers testing tools and frameworks for automation testing. RPA vs configuration management. Most famous tool for configuration management is Ansible, uh, and configuration management is a process to systematically manage, organize, and control the changes in the documents, codes, and other entities during the software development lifecycle. The primary goal is to increase productivity with minimal mistake. So again, here if we wanted to squeeze RPA, we can use it as configuration management, but I prefer to keep each tool for the purpose which created for to satisfy it. Here we have RPA vs programming. In programming, we all of us know, let's go and write code from scratch. RPA is low code, no code. So actually, is this like, low code, no code vs a lot of code or 100 code? So it is, a headache, a real headache to start from scratch. RPA and AI or vs AI. For sure, there is no any vs between both of them. AI and RPA enabling end-to-end automation. As we said, if RPA alone can generate code for us, but RPA plus AI generates digital worker. Okay, so for example, a smart OCR robot can analyzing the scanned document, then upload it along with new account form, machine learning, for example, to handle exception management. So yes, AI can handle exception management and actually can also in the judgment as well. Here are the recent graph from Gartner. We can see UiPath in the top, automation anywhere under that blue prism, and Microsoft Power Automate. And I am certified in UiPath Advanced Developer and the Microsoft Power Automate as a solution architect expert. Okay. So now let's speak about what's UiPath. So UiPath is a set of tools designed for business and enterprises to carry their tasks effectively on daily basis. It helps in the execution of processes that need to be done repetitively. UiPath, one of the fastest and most robust RPA solutions in the industry today. It offers attended and unattended and some cognitive solutions as well. UiPath offers a lot of libraries, much, a lot. Actually, we can see it here in this URL, but here I grab the most important things. For example, Excel activities, mail activities, Word activities, OCR, computer vision, SAP activities, FTP, Jira activities. When we start to create a UiPath project template, we have multiple project templates. We have a background processes. We have orchestration process, robotic enterprise framework, trigger-based attended automation, and transaction process. And if we are working in very basic scenario, we usually use blank project. Okay, we'll go in detail with each other. In the background process, it can run in parallel in the background, okay? And background processes must not make use of interaction activities like click or type info or any activities need interaction with human, because in the end it will run in the background. Orchestration process. We usually use orchestration process for long-running workflows and So it can handle, for example, service orchestration, human intervention, and long-running transactions in unattended environment. So we usually use orchestration process in unattended process, and human intervention comes into play when certain processes require human inputs to handle exception, approval, or validation before processing to the next step in the activity. In this situation, the process execution is suspended uh, until the human task completed. So we can see, for example, in the orchestration, we have some background processing, start some sessions in the background. Here we are waiting for human interaction. Here we start the background process again, human in the loop, and the smart start shop with foreground process and background process. Okay, so here we can see robotic process, robotic enterprise framework. Robotic enterprise framework is a project template based on a state machine. It creates to fit all of the best practices regarding logging, exception handling, application initialization, and others, being ready to tackle a complex business scenarios. The template contains several pre-made state containers for initializing applications, retrieving input data, processing it, and ending the transaction. So actually, in the exam, or they focus on this one because, as we can see, it is we have the first state, init state, and we have the final state here, and here we have the process. Okay, and get transaction data, and get transaction data, process transaction, and if there is no data, go for this one in the process. Otherwise, if there is a data, it will go and get the next transaction. So it is like for loop here. Okay, trigger based automation, it is a project template based on sequence. So something happened, do this. It is actually used for attended mode to monitor certain triggers such as mouse or keyboard event and deploy an automation. That this template allows you to configure trigger and add other triggers activity based on the project needed. So, for example, if one of the all the these triggers are monitored, and once it is once one of them occur, the event handler will be executed. Event handler is executed once for any occurring event. So here, the transaction process, it is a very simple one. It is based on flowchart. Uh, it is optimized for basic automation processes. So here, workflow design, we have sequence from this to that to that. We have workflow. Workflow, we have like, some conditions, and we can skip one of the steps based on the condition, things like that. We have a state machine. A state machine, it uses a finite number of status in its execution. It can go into a state when it's triggered by an activity, and it exits that state when another activity is triggered. You can only create one initial state and more than one final state. And in the end, we have something called global handler. Designed to terminate the project's behavior when some exception happen or error happen. So it is time now to go for the demo. In demo, we'll have manual, we'll have software automation, and we'll go and see how we can create this. So here we go. Yes, I have here, for example, I will send a mail to this email with this one. So I will compose it here with the subject. this one, and I will add this as well in the body, and let's attach this file. This file contains like Excel sheet contains multiple records or data entry. So let's send it now, and let's go and jump for our UiPath Studio. Let's run this file. So now it will it is starting now. It will open the Chrome and navigate to Gmail. If it didn't find any file with a specific subject, it will keep refreshing. Okay. And if it is found, it will open it and download the file. After that, it will start to make the data entry. So it is already downloaded the file, and now it is making the data entry. And we can see here okay, here it's completed the data entry, and it's done, and it's archived as well. And it is done. Our demo is done now. So let's see. It completed this in almost 6 seconds. It downloads a file. After that, it's archived, and it is go and archived here things. And if we wanted to see, for example, we can see here it go here in the process open browser. After that, it go and refresh the key. It is like till it is find this one, which the email. Once it is find it, it will click on it. If we come here in the trigger, we have something called selector. If I click here, I can see I am triggering it with regular expression. After that, I go and click on the download file. After that, I go and assign the value of downloaded file and open it here in the RPA challenge. This is another file. I invoke another file by passing the location of the file. After that, I archive the file by moving it to another folder. After that, I go and click reply. After that, I type have a nice day and click enter, or yes, click enter to send the email. After that, I click the archive button. So if I come here now, here I can see have a nice day. It is already received. Just for UiPath needs performance. So for example, in this RPA challenge, first time I fail to pass it. After that, next time I make it in 177 seconds. After that, I make it in 17 seconds. After that, it's 12 seconds. And actually, last time, or the minimum score I got it was 4.9 seconds. So, you know, everything need performance, need to be production ready. There should be a lot of enhancement. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.